welcome to the Ozarks Sports Report YouTube show. Here joined by the head coach of the Logan Rogersville Wildcats, Coach John Schaefer. And for today's show, we're going to be doing a season recap with the head coach of the Logan Rogersville Wildcats, Coach John Schaefer. Recapping their games from the past season, Logan Rogersville Wildcats went 25-6, going fourth in the state tournament. Their losses came to Ozark, Republic, Greenwood, Blue Valley Northwest out of Olathe, Kansas, Grandview, and Ladue Horton Watkins in the Class 4 third place state game. Coach Schaefer, what was the main ingredient that you guys had going into this 2018-2019 season?
The main ingredients, I guess we returned some key players from last year, Luke Vandersnick and Kate Blevins, and some good guys that got a lot of minutes with Josh Linehan. Well, Josh got hurt last year, but some younger guys, sophomores like Cannon Gibson, got some playing time last year too. So we kind of did the same things we normally do. We really tried to work on our matchup zone and be physical, and we knew we had guys that could shoot the ball. And with Luke, two-time All-State and 6'4" or 6'5" presence that we had, we played around him a lot, which made it tough for teams, and so we could control the game pretty well. So pretty much the same thing that we try to do every year.
Staying that same question boat as what was the definition that you guys had for this 2018-2019 winter campaign?
The definition?
Yes.
As in, I would say, we had a motto. I don't know if you want that, but that was, toughness, the ability to achieve a goal regardless of the obstacle. And we kind of use that all the time. And we just want to focus on being tough and, competing. Today kids get away from that, I think. And, it's just about, we have so much social media and kids are ate up with it. So it's more just about focusing on, our basketball team and our school and playing for each other and, just competing. So, we have some good athletes that buy into that and worked really hard this year, and it paid off for them.
Now, as we move on to that topic of wins, you guys had 25 wins on the season. What was the most important win that you guys had out of all those 25 wins this 2018-2019 season?
Well, I'd say the most important was probably Sullivan in the state quarters, because I think everybody's goal was to get to the Final Four. So, that's a huge win for us. But, early, the Catholic victory was a key win. Winning the Blue and Gold was huge. If you can beat some of the best teams in the area, that bodes pretty well and puts you, with a lot of confidence and understanding that anything's possible. So, that's what we did. So we were fortunate to get some close victories over some really good basketball teams in our area. So, the Catholic one, I thought we played really well, especially going in there undefeated. They were undefeated in conference, so were we. And, last year we had the same battle at our place. And so I think that was a key one, that because Riker Strong played about 2 minutes of that game with fouls, and he did not score, and beating them without him was a huge one. So, we had great guys step up, senior leadership, Caleb Lowe, and some of those hit some big shots that we had to have. So that one probably sticks in my mind the most.
Now, staying in that same boat that you guys had with wins, what was the most exciting win that you guys had in this season? You got to go to those 25 wins, and what was the most exciting win that you guys had?
The Parkview win at the Blue and Gold, that started it out. That was huge and a lot of fun for our kids, and just to realize that we could do it. And I don't know what the Blue and Gold history is, but we had to go through and beat the 1, 2, and 3 seeds, and then your playing game or your starting game was the defending champion. So that was a great job by our kids, and so that was pretty exciting. And then, like I said, probably from there, the Catholic game comes back to mind, and the West Plains game and district title game. That was just a brawl and a tough game. Just anytime you can win a district or win in the postseason, it's exciting. So, but yeah, those are probably the keys. Not to take anything away from the Sullivan game. We beat a really good basketball team that was, I thought, really under the radar and really tough to guard. And our kids were super excited after that win, obviously. But, had a lot of them, and all of them are exciting. We love to win.
Love to win, that is the motto there at Logan Rogersville. And we got to move on from the other side of wins now to losses. You guys had six losses there on the season this year. What was the most learning or educational loss that you guys had in this season?
Probably early, to be honest. In the Republic tournament, going back-to-back losses, we lost to Ozark and then had to play Republic. And back-to-back losses to those guys that, and they're both good, quality basketball programs and had great seasons. But that was an eye-opener early to say, hey, you haven't earned anything. It doesn't really matter what all the preseason records say and everything else. It's just about, you got to get to work. So, after that week or after that weekend, we had a whole week off. So I think they remember that week probably wasn't very much fun. So that was a memorable losses that were important and kind of got their attention and heading in the right direction. So that, and I think the Helias loss, I think we overlooked them. I think our kids thought, hey, we're better than them. And we walked in and just kind of went through the motions and thought we could win, and we did not. So, all losses you learn from and figure things out. But probably those were some of the more significant ones that we learned from.
Also staying in that same boat as losses, what was the most disappointing loss that you guys had in this season? You got to go through all those 6 losses to Ozark Republic, Blue Valley Northwest out of Olathe, Jefferson City Helias, as well as Grandview and Ladue Horton Watkins. What was the most disappointing loss that you guys had in this season?
Well, probably, I don't know. We were pretty disappointed losing in the Republic tournament because we thought we didn't play very well. We had 26 turnovers against Ozark and lost by 4, and I think we had 22 turnovers to Republic and lost by 5 or 6 or 7, whatever we did. And so those started out the season with everybody was thinking, oh, we're terrible, or so those are hard. But I'd say the next ones would have to be Grandview. We didn't play well against Grandview or Ladue. I mean, those are probably the most disappointing because I don't know that we could beat Grandview, but we could compete and we had a lot better shot to play. But you can't go 3 of 20 from the 3-point line, and you can't turn the ball over. And I felt like we played a really poor first half and couldn't get back after that. And then with Ladue, you go 2 of 20 from the 3-point line, and you're not going to win a lot of games like that, and you still have a chance to win. You're down 2 with a minute. So just those were tough, especially when you want to get a win in the Final Four. But everybody talks about it's great just to be in there. It is, but it's also great to win. So, but anyway, those are both pretty disappointing. And the sting's taken away by all the ceremony and everybody being happy for you about where you got and how your season ended. So, and that they're all disappointing. You play and you think that you can beat anybody, and you can. So it makes it hard when you lose because you feel like you underachieved. But we played some great team. There's nobody that we lost to that wasn't worthy for sure. So the Greenwood was disappointing. It was a great atmosphere and a lot of fun, and a lot of people thought, hey, you overlooked them. No, they have one of the best players in the state. Lost a 1-point game to them. So nothing to hang your head out there either as well.
Definitely one of the best players in the state coming out of Greenwood. That's Aminu Muhammad, who is actually a candidate for the Ozark Sports Report Male Player of the Year, as well as one of his plays in the Male Play of the Year. Also, one of your players from Logan Rogersville is in the running for the Male Player of the Year. That is Riker Strong. What does that say for your player, Riker Strong, that makes him deserve the Male Player of the Year this year?
Well, he's a 3-sport athlete for one, football player, all-state in track as well, high jump, and he's just a tough kid. He works really hard. Sometimes his emotions get the best of him, but he's a good, hard-working kid that wants to win, and he'll very respectful and do whatever you want. And so he's a competitor. So. If kids that want to compete, they find a way to win, and that's what I would say about Riker.
And as we move on to move out of the season, the winter season of 2018 and 2019, now into the winter of 2019-2020, what's going to be changed there in Logan Rogersville? Is it going to be the same? Are you guys going to be losing some key players? Will it be a rebuilding year, making adjustments, or will it be this year on repeat?
Well, we returned 3 starters, so that's a big positive. Obviously, we lose Riker and Luke, our seniors, that are had a big presence in the post and just physicality and athleticism. So our guys that coming up are good guards and can handle the ball and do a lot of things. So we like what we're going to look like. It will be a little less post oriented as we have. I think we'll shoot it a lot, and we'll still guard a lot the same way. And we should be able, the only thing I can think of right now is I know how we'll offensively, we'll shoot it a lot more. Probably share the ball a lot of more motion and get it up and down the floor at a little higher level probably, just because we'll need to, and more of a full court transition team. So, but it'll be fun. We got, like I said, a lot of guys are going to get a lot of opportunities. We have some good freshmen and sophomores right now, good classes that are, a lot of those kids are going to get the opportunity to play varsity basketball. So that should be fun as well.
And also another question to tell you about is, as we come out of this season into next season, which is 2019-2020, out of 2018-2019, what are you going to be expecting out of all classes, including your class, and of course your conference of the Big Eight? What's going to be expecting, or what are you going to be expecting out of all 5 classes that are now 6 classes that we heard that's going to be coming in next year? What are you going to be expecting for all 6 classes coming into next year, and also your conference as well?
Well, as far as the area of basketball here, it's not going to change really anything. Everybody's pretty good usually. The same programs are solid, and you've got I'd say Kickapoo's a really good one at Class 6 if they are, or 5. I don't know what they'll move them to, but they're a really nice basketball team and had a good year this year. And the top guys, everybody's going to be right there again. I think this is a hotbed for basketball. Nobody's ever bad, put it that way. So that's one of the reasons I moved back to Southwest Missouri. So it's different than other places. It's a basketball mecca. It's nice being here. But as far as Logan Rogersville, conference titles are our goal. I see us right back where we were. We'll have an opportunity. It seems like Catholic will be tough on our side of it, and anybody during conference play you can get beat, so it's tough to win a conference, and I was really proud of our kids for doing that. Like I said, I think we'll have another good chance to do it again. As far as the other side of that conference, Nevada is going to be really good again with some nice players. So I don't know that we can win over the overall like we did this year, but it should be at the upper end of it. Now this area, like I said, with all the basketball, the sizes change, but we will not change. We will stay Class 4, which is good for us. We'll just figure all that stuff out when it gets time.
And now with you guys staying in Class 4, does that kind of give you guys a challenge? Does it kind of say, okay, we're going to be at Class 4 just right where we were, or you guys just going to feel comfortable at Class 4?
Well, no, we're fine. We play a Class 5 schedule all year anyway, so I don't even think of us as Class 4. It's just nice being Class 4 when it comes district time, because now you don't have to butt heads with all the teams that you played all year. Like the Nixes, Ozarks, Republics, Kickapoos, Parkviews, all of that. They're going to have to do their own. So that kind of is good for us in a way. I don't want to say it makes it easier, because the teams we play that are at the upper end of that, district play, they play that same schedule as well. You got the Webb Cities, and you got West Plains and Marshfield and all them. So, like I said, I don't think it's going to change much at all, but, it's just another way of changing up the classes for the postseason play.
And now as we move, or as we like to talk about, you guys were in the Blue and Gold tournament this year. In the Blue and Gold tournament, you guys took on Mountain Grove, Nixa, Willard, and Parkview. Parkview, who was 13-13, Mountain Grove, who was 15-13, as well as Nixa, and then Willard, who was 17-11. Now, were you guys playing a Class 2 team of Mountain Grove? Correct me if I'm wrong if they're Class 2 or 3, but...
Yeah, they're Class 3.
They're Class 3. Okay, so does that kind of amp your schedule, or does that kind of put the schedule in the blender and see what it comes out?
No, I mean we kind of we'll play the same schedules we always do. We try to play as good a teams as we can, and Mountain Grove's a quality basketball team and had some really nice players this year. And Coach Holler does a great job with those guys, and they're always tough. It doesn't matter really what he has; they're gonna be tough to beat. So, that was a first good win in that. Even though it doesn't matter, even the blue and gold, anything can happen. That's why it's so fun to watch. That's why it's a big deal. So beating all those teams in it. That was, those are all teams that we typically play, and so it just, luckily we came up on the winning end.
And also, one other thing to tell you about is in the state. What are you going to be expecting throughout the state in high school basketball coming into next season?
Well, like I said, I named Webb City. Webb City's really good. I think they're going to return. They're tough. They're just physical kids that know how to win. They win in football, and they got a program. And we jumped on them really early and shot the ball extremely well and did things well and stretched out a huge lead, and we couldn't get away from them. They cut the lead back to 9 before we could put them away. So I know next year those kids will learn a lot from that, and there'll be one that's waiting there to have a shot to go, I would assume, in our class anyway, class 4. And same thing with Nevada. West Plains is going to lose a lot of guys. I'm not sure what they return as far as some of their depth, but I like I said, I think we'll have a good shot to win our district or be in it, and have a same thing as always. So that's just where we want to be.
And now, as we look at the schedule, is the schedule going to be changing? Like, will you guys be in the same tournaments as you were last year, as well, like the Republic tournament, the Blue and Gold, the Pittsburgh, Kansas tournament?
As of right now, we're working on that as you speak. We're tossing up between Republic and the Parkview tournament, and then we'll be back in the Blue and Gold, and I believe we're going to the Lebanon tournament. So a lot of talented tournaments. So that'll obviously be extremely tough because it'll mostly all be Class 5 schools. Another thing is you're going to be in the running for the Coach of the Year. That'll be up next week. And you're going to be up against some good coaches from this area. You got Kevin Smith from Crane. You got Jeremy Dressler from Willard. You also have the head coach from Greenwood. What's that say to you, and what does that say for the other coaches that have also competed here in Southwest Missouri? Well, the head coach from Greenwood is my high school basketball coach, so I hope he wins. But no, I mean, it's a great, like I said, it's a great area for high school basketball, and you have a lot of good coaches that know how to coach, and it's just a family of coaches and a fraternity. A lot of these coaches all came from similar pasts and have a connection somehow down the road, and that's just what makes it fun. I think that's what makes basketball in this area so good, and the style of play and what coaches are capable of. So, hats off to all those guys, and basically it comes down to your players anyway, whether or not you're Coach of the Year. So it's you just try to put them in a position to win and do what you can, and they've still got to go make plays and do what they do. So, but yeah, Luke Vandersnick helped me get Coach of the Year for 2 years in our conference, and without him, I'm not Coach of the Year. So, that's just the how it goes. But no, like I said, congrats to all those guys, and I wish them the best.
And before we let you guys go, if there are any final words you had to say to all 31 coaches that you guys played this year, what would be your final words that you have for all those coaches that you guys played, from the coaches that you lost to of Grandview and Ladue Horton Watkins? What would be your final words to all those coaches that you played?
Well, congratulations to Grandview. Obviously, going back-to-back state championships, that's amazing. That's a big feat, and that doesn't happen very often, and they earned it. They beat some really, really good basketball teams, and I know those guys from when I was in Kansas City, and they do a good job. So, no, just congratulations, and hey, everybody, enjoy your summer, and everybody will see everybody again here. We get about 3 months off, I guess, if you will, and then back at it. So not much time off, but enjoy what you get and see you at summer camp.
Here with the head coach of the Logan Rogersville Wildcats after that 68-50 win here at the Blue and Gold tournament against Mountain Grove, Coach John Schaefer. Coach Schaefer, what was going through what was the main subject that you had going into this game against Mountain Grove?
That we just needed to, have a lot of intensity and a lot of effort, and we knew Mountain Grove was going to be a tough team, and, even though their record's not as good as what it is, they have traditionally tough and play good basketball, and they're well coached, and just kids that know how to win. So we knew it wouldn't be an easy game, and we were not happy with the draw, but that's just how it goes. And so main thing was, just do what we do, and, try to be the aggressor and be physical on defense and offense both. And we started out early. We did not do that and got down, and so just kind of talked things over and got people in the right spots, and then started to get some positive things going.
Logan Rogersville, who was led by 6 seniors tonight of Drew Mock, Addie Miller, Riker Strong, Caleb Lowe, Luke Vandersnick, and another Caleb Lowe. What was the chemistry behind those 6 seniors that led your team tonight against Mountain Grove?
Well, this thing's kind of misprinted. We only have 4 seniors. Drew Mack didn't. Drew wasn't in there as much, but the other guys, Riker Strong had a big game. Luke Vanderstick, Kate Blevins, and then also Josh Lenahan. Those 4, I think, had double digits and did a great job sharing the basketball and got a lot from different people. So balanced scoring attack is what we're trying to work on and get better at, and I thought we did that. We're pretty unselfish with the ball, and there's a time we need to force feed it to our bigs, and there's a time we need to shoot it, and we're just trying to figure out the balance of that.
Coming up tomorrow, you're going to be playing either Nixa or Branson. That's going to be going up here at the Hammond Student Center. What's going to be the firepower that you're going to be bringing against either Nixa or Branson come tomorrow night?
Well, both of these teams, we've already played Branson, and it was a tough game, but we came out ahead on that one. And both of these teams have good guards and shoot the ball extremely well. And so you've got to guard the perimeter well, and as well as they've got some size, Nixa does with their 6'5" kids around a basket. So, it's a guard-oriented team on both sides, and I think actually this game ought to be a pretty decent one. If Branson shoots the ball as well as they can, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. But either way, we got a tough opponent coming up, and so we'll try to see who comes ahead and go to work.
If you have any final words to say to the head coach of the Mountain Grove Panthers tonight, that is Coach Dwayne Hiller, what would your final words be to head coach Dwayne Hiller of the Mountain Grove Panthers?
Oh, he's a good friend of mine. My final words would be just keep doing what you're doing. They're gonna be fine when it comes to important time. Mountain Grove will be tough. So keep your head up and they'll do well.
Thanks for taking the time with us, Coach Schaefer. Congratulations on that big win against Mountain Grove, and best luck to you guys against either Nixa or Branson.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Not much time off, as that will wrap up our show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you enjoyed us sitting down with the head coach of the Logan Rogersville Wildcats, Coach John Schaefer. If you'd like to stay connected with them through the social media, be sure to like them on Facebook. Also follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter is going to be at LRCatsBball. Once again, that's LRCatsBball on Twitter. If you'd like to stay connected with the Ozarks Sports Report through our social media, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, also follow us on Instagram, and check out our website. Also follow Logan Rogersville on Instagram and check out their website. Their website will be at loganrogersville.k12.mo.us. And so for one final time, I want to thank head coach John Schaefer for sitting down with us to recap his season. And also we'd like to congratulate him on a tremendous season, going 25-6 this year. For one final time, I'm Adam Smith from the Ozark Sports Report saying, have a good day, everybody.